Welcome to the Pregnancy Help Podcast. I'm Christine Grimmett. I'm here with a few of our affiliate services team members who are excited to share how you can best prepare for Heartbeat International's upcoming annual conference. We'll be gathering in Cincinnati, Ohio, March 25th through 27th, with members of the Pregnancy Help community around the world to learn and grow the movement together. And we simultaneously host a virtual conference that week with its own unique set of workshops and opportunities. This is an event that we look forward to each year, and some of our own staff have now spent quite a few years attending as an attendee and now serving as Heartbeat staff. So we have both sides of those perspectives for you to help you prepare and to give you a little more insight in case maybe you haven't registered yet and you're still thinking of joining. If that's the case, check out the registration link in the show notes for more information. So I want to thank those of you who are joining us here today. We've got 4 members of our affiliate services team. So let's start with some introductions. And Kathy, I'm going to start with you.
Great. Thank you, Christine. So I'm Kathy German, and I'm the Director of Affiliate Services here at Heartbeat International. And I've been here since last October of 2024. Lori, you want to go next?
Sure. My name's Laurie Campbell, and I'm an affiliation coordinator, and I have been at Heartbeat since this past summer, 2025.
I'm Michelle Cheresnik, and I am also an affiliate coordinator. This is my first time at conference as a Heartbeat staff member. I did get to learn all about the virtual track last year because last year I served as a virtual track host at Heartbeat, but I'm very excited to be in person this year at my first conference as a staff member. I think I've been to 5 or 6, though, as a Heartbeat attendee.
I'm Elena Wood. I'm also an affiliation coordinator, and I've been with Heartbeat since 2022, and this will be my 3rd Heartbeat conference.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to be here as the affiliate services team. So we hope this will be a very productive conversation for everybody. And we're going to kick it off with Elena, and she's going to share a little bit more of the details about, what happens when you first get there, checking in, and all of those fun details.
Well, first, I want to start with if you haven't booked your hotel, go ahead and do that now. There are 3 nearby hotels, the Hyatt, Hilton, and Westin. They're all within 1 to 6 minute walking distance outside. So we really encourage you to take a look at those hotels because you're going to be in the heart of it. You're going to be seeing other attendees as you're walking to the center and on the elevator and all of that. So it really helps you build those connections with other attendees. And then also if you're trying to book and maybe it says that it's, completely booked, go ahead and call the hotel because it might just be that one day within that block is booked. And so please give them a call. And then also too, you're going to be right down there. You're not going to have to worry about finding parking or, navigating through all the traffic to get there. So that's first with those hotels. Next, once you get checked in, you want to check in with us as well at registration. So registration and Heartbeat Central is the same place. So after you've gone through your travels and you get to the center, you're going to see so many of us here for you to help you let go of the travel struggles and be welcomed with a smile and a hug and prayers, whatever you need, we're here for you. We also have a couple of times for you to check in. For in-depth stay, there are 2 opportunities to check in. And then for the rest of the conference, there are 2 opportunities to check in. And when you do, we have a little gift bag for you. I'm going to show you. So if you're not just listening to the podcast, I'll describe it for you. You're going to get one of these lovely duffel bags. It's a really nice size. You have a space for a water bottle and there's a nice big pocket on the front, but it's like, a little bit smaller than a carry-on. So it's a really good quality bag. So you're not going to need to bring a big bag. So once registration is over, that's still going to be Heartbeat Central. And again, that's where you're going to be able to meet with us, ask us questions. Again, like I said, we are here to greet you, pray for you, share stories with you, offer support and resources. So we just want you to feel comfortable and come to Heartbeat Central and say hi. There's going to be opportunities to purchase resources, find out more about resources, and all of that there. So
I just want to note too that, like Elena said, we're all here all week to serve you. So you will notice Heartbeat staff members floating around all over the place. And you'll see us with our name tags on that say Heartbeat International. So make sure, you stop any of us if you see us in the elevator or the hallways or a workshop anywhere. And, feel free to say hi and introduce yourselves. We want to meet as many as we can because we talk to so many of you throughout the year on the phone and through emails and different webinars and those kinds of things. So to just meet you in person is a real treat to us. And so another thing we wanted to say too is you will also find other Heartbeat staff members in the exhibit hall. So people from Extend Web, Next Level, Option Line, Housing, those staff members you'll also see in the exhibit hall. So they'll also have Heartbeat name tags on, but you can also connect with them there. So let's pivot a little bit and talk about like what happens before you get away. So packing and travel plans. Michelle, do you have any tips that you want to share with us?
Bring a sweater. So every year I was constantly surprised at how important layering pieces were, because if you're in a workshop and there's a lot of people and a lot of bodies, it can feel really warm. But then sometimes going out into the hallway, it can feel really cold, or sitting in there while we're getting ready for meals always seems a little chilly to me. But I think a layering piece, don't forget your layering piece, and really comfy shoes. I know we all like to wear super cute shoes, but there's a lot of walking. And I think one of the things that to me is always distracting is if my feet hurt. I don't pay attention or maybe stay as long in fellowship as much as I'd want to because I want to take my shoes off. So comfy shoes and sweaters are super important, but also pack what you need and what makes you feel comfortable. I think business casual is kind of what most people wear. But I know we all feel better when we're in clothes that make us feel good. So there's a wide array of wardrobes that you'll see there, but I think always the most important things, layering pieces and comfy shoes.
Very good. Lori, do you have anything else to add about that? Things to pack, not to forget before we go?
I agree with Michelle that you just need to bring things that, make you comfortable. If you, need to have water, so that's convenient for you to have a water bottle that you carry. We'll have places for you to fill that up, and, just bring comfortable things. It helps your learning experience so that you're not uncomfortable and hurting or, just suffering in any way.
Exactly. A couple other things I would bring are just some quick, easy snacks, granola bars, and, little snacks that you can tuck into your bag. So if you get hungry between the general sessions or the meals, you've got something. And also maybe a notebook so that you have plenty of space to take notes, and bring your business cards too, because those are a great way to, pass out to people that you're meeting, so that you can remember and follow up with people that you wanted to connect with more. Another great thing to do too is, before you go, or, maybe on the plane when you have time during your connections, check out like some of the restaurants, the coffee shops in the area that you may want to, visit while we're there at conference. Phone charger, that's another important one. You don't want to be without your phone charger. So anyone else have any other last minute things on what to pack?
I always like to bring electrolytes. When it's a long day, an electrolyte really can make a big difference, not just water.
You mentioned scouting out restaurants. One of the things that I found helpful in the past is if you're going to conference and you're with your team, making dinner reservations or making reservations for meals that you'll be eating off site is very beneficial, because there's a lot of us that are probably going to be looking for restaurants close by, walking distance. And so getting that leg up by making a dinner reservation for your team, or even what's more fun is inviting another team to join you and making a bigger reservation.
That's a great point, Michelle. And then a great opportunity for that when you have free time is Thursday, because Thursday evening, actually, because Thursday morning there's workshops and general session, and then there's different various events and meetings happening Thursday afternoon, but then you do have some free time. So that's a great night to take advantage of making a reservation, like you said, with new friends or people from your own center. So That is a great point. And then also we want to talk about what are some ways to make the most of your conference experience. So Lori, do you have any great tips for us to share?
I agree with you on bringing the business cards. It's great to connect with other leaders and just exchange those. And we all have thousands of them anyway, so it's a great use for them. But I always found the area where all the vendors are extremely helpful. It's overwhelming because there's a lot. But if you just go in and determine, okay, I have this hour or whatever, I'm just going to stop by, and you give yourself a number, a reasonable number. I'm going to stop by 3 to 4 vendors and just see what they're doing. Those can be divine appointments. As leaders, you've been praying for, this tool or this resource or, solve this problem for me, please, Lord. And those resources are literally in that room. All of these people are wonderful, supporters and on mission with us in the pregnancy help space. And so that happened to me time and time again. I would have been praying something about, a particular thing that I needed or a resource, and I would find it among those vendors at the Heartbeat conference. So just come prepared to have your prayer answered there, but approach it with, okay, I'm going to do what I can in this time that I have right now. And then, later when I have another hour, I'll do 3 more tables or whatever it is, because there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah, I love that, Lori. That's a really, really good point. And another thing too is, step out of your comfort zone. It's easy to just kind of stick with the people that you came with and from your own center or even maybe other close by centers or other ones in your state that you might know from coalition meetings or things like that. But this is your time to really step out and meet somebody new and have conversations with other centers across the country or even around the world, because we're Heartbeat International, right? So we have affiliates in over 100 different nations around the world, and a lot of them are going to be there. And so that is just one of the big highlights really of the week. It's always, I think if you've been there before and you've been to the Parade of Nations on Wednesday evening, it is just something to behold. It gives me chills even just talking about it now. And I think most of us on the screen probably can say, it brings tears to our eyes when we're there, because it's just it's really amazing to just see pregnancy help around the world, and that we're all big. It's, I think we can also even think about conference as being almost, like a family reunion, right? Like if you've been there before, or even if you haven't been before, sometimes you still know some of the vendors or people from other centers. And it's just so fun to be able to just see those people that you see maybe once a year, and be able to give them a hug and just catch up with them. So it's just a really, really great opportunity to get outside your own center. And, I remember always it being in my own center, and sometimes in the day to day, you're just so focused on what you're doing in your center, and you're in your own little bubble. And conference is just a great way to just get out there and remember that pregnancy help is everywhere. It's international, and we all are playing a part in it. And you learn so much from other people, just in quick conversations. Just you'll pick up an idea, a light bulb will go off in your head, and you'll be like, wow, we could be doing that. That's a great idea. So we want you to take advantage of all those, moments of just interactions with people throughout the week. I'll pass it to Michelle or Elena. Do you have anything else to add to that? Making the most of your conference experience?
I think it's Michelle, by the way, if you're just listening. Don't let the opportunity for worship and prayer slip by. I think one of the biggest and best things about conference is the fellowship, and it's people who get you. These are people who know the burdens you carry, the struggles you have, and the joys you celebrate. But there's just something so powerful about being able to worship together. I know we all want to sleep in a little bit. We're tired sometimes and feel like the rest is what we need. But, those moments together in corporate worship can be really defining and very healing. And even finding that prayer team, right? Because you may be carrying things that you don't necessarily want to share with your staff or other people on your team, but yet you have a burden to lay that down. And so I think finding those prayer people, our prayer warriors that come every year, and just receiving a place in a private space, completely confidential, can just bring so much healing. And I think you just leave and you just feel so much more enriched and empowered to lead your team.
Thanks, Michelle. You just mentioned a couple things that that I wanted to remind everybody of too. Is we do have opportunities for prayer time where you can sign up for a slot. I believe in the Whova app, you'll be able to sign up for your own slot and meet with someone who can intercede for you. And then also, along with worship, there is also a daily mass time early in the morning, and those will all be available in the conference program and on the Whova app with all the times and the location. So those are two other good things to take advantage of. And Lori or Elena, is there anything else that you'd want to share about the conference experience?
This is Elena again. And since you mentioned Whova, I just wanted to touch on that one more time too. It's a really, really great tool. One, we're going to have information up to date in the Whova app. So there'll be a map so you can find where you're going. There'll also be a map of the exhibitors so you can see where they are. And they'll upload some of their information in there too, so you can learn a little bit about them. There's also ways for you to connect with others through the Whova app as well. So you can, create meeting spaces, chat with others, share, your business cards digitally. So it's a really great app to have and to engage with while you're there in person.
A couple other things that I think are good to think about are, when you're at conference and you're going from, general sessions to exhibit hall to workshops to all the things, and you're meeting people and taking lots of notes, it can be overwhelming. And you can just kind of get to the end or even just the end of a day and just feel like, wow, it's just kind of like information overload. So I encourage you to just, maybe in the notebook that you brought, maybe at the end of each day, just, make a list of the important action steps that you wrote down for that day, or the little nuggets of information or nuggets quotes that somebody said in a general session that you want to remember. So keep them, separate, like make that list so that then at the end of the week, you can go back through all of those days and your action steps and kind of, maybe number them or prioritize them as far as, what you want to do first when you get back to your center. Because we all know that once you get back from your center, you're on this high and this, encouragement and all the joy from being at conference. And then you go back, and sometimes that first day back is just like reality, that reentry is hard. And, you're back into all the things doing it at your center. And we don't want you to just take that program or your notebook and have it get stuck in the bottom of your to-do pile on your desk. So, keep just a short list of those action steps. You don't have to do every single thing that you hear, every great idea, but just, pick out a few of the really, really important ones that you think are going to be the most helpful and impactful to your center, just to be able to highlight those when you get back. A couple of things that we want to point out is we have a lot of really great content this year for board members. So sometimes I think board members may not even think that there would be content for them. They, they're excited to have their executive director and some of their staff attend, but they don't necessarily think that conference is also for them. But it is. It's for every person in your organization. We have content for the board members, for the volunteers, for, each member of your staff. So we want you to take advantage of it. So for board members, we have a great in-depth day topic on Tuesday called Governing with Confidence. So it's basically learning about our board training and all the important responsibilities of a board member in a pregnancy help organization. And that's being led this year by Peggy Hartshorn, with also Lori Campbell that is here in this podcast today. And Peggy is the original author of Governing Essentials. So we're really, really excited to have her teaching that. And then there's also several different workshops for board members throughout the week too. You can find all those on our website. It has all the workshops listed. We also want to highlight too that we do have some great content for men's programs and our rural centers. And those are questions and things that comments that we get every year that people want more content for that. So there's an in-depth day for men's programs as well as an in-depth day for rural and smaller centers, and then workshops mixed in throughout the week as well. So there's great content for every single person in your center, medical, fundraising, everything. You name it, we have it. And so we don't want anyone to miss out or feel like there's not something for them. And another good point that I just thought of is, if you are coming with your team, it's good to split up and each go to different workshops so that you can each take notes and then compare later, or, discuss and share what you learned. So that's another little tidbit about conference that's helpful, I think. Mm-hmm.
So I did want to just highlight the virtual session that we have. It is a completely different track or a completely different conference than the in-person conference. Last year, I did get to be a virtual track host. And in that alone, I learned that you actually do get to connect with those presenters. You can find them on the Whova app and get their notes on the Whova app, but there's also live Q&As at the end of every session, unless they give you a little blurb in the beginning, and so they will tell you if the presenter isn't available for a live Q&A. But you get that time to just spend, listening in your own space comfortably. But then you do get to connect with those presenters live as well at the end of your session, which I thought was very cool that they would spend the time. They'll pop in on the screen and be live for a Q&A session. The virtual track is just as comprehensive, I think, this year. Some of those presenters are out of this world. We've got a great virtual track this year.
Yes, agreed. And of course, we want you to come in person. We want to see your faces and hug you, but we know that not everyone is able to travel to Cincinnati this year. So the virtual, like Michelle said, is a great option. And we do encourage you, because I know I've done this personally myself for conferences, that, if it's virtual or you're watching a virtual, webinar or what have you, it's easy to be distracted by, kind of having that on one screen and then looking at your email and doing other things, multitasking. But really, we encourage you to just block your time or your calendar, maybe work from home that day if you can, or, make sure your staff knows that, you're listening to this virtual conference, and, make it a priority, because you're really going to learn so much from those workshops. And like Michelle said, being able to interact with the presenters, there's a opening, I think there's general sessions for each of the virtual, for the virtual conference as well. So you get your own conference experience. So it's definitely worth it. And then even being able to interact with the exhibitors as well. You can do that through the Whova app. So definitely the virtual conference is definitely worth your time checking out if you're not able to travel to Cincinnati this year. So a couple of last minute thoughts just as we wrap up here. We are excited to see you, whether you are attending in person or virtually. It's so important that you are investing in your own leadership and your own development and that of your team and your staff, because we know that, ongoing learning is so important to our organization. So we encourage you while you're here, or even while you're attending the virtual conference, to just make sure that you're fully present. Your centers are likely still open and operating, and you may be getting phone calls or seeing emails or chats or anything from them, but obviously you have to step away to take emergency phone calls and handle things that come up like that. But we really want you to, as much as possible, be fully present, so that you can take advantage of everything that the conference has to offer. And we also want you to remember to stop by Heartbeat Central sometime during the week, multiple times, whenever you want, because we're here. Our team will be there as much as possible so that you can meet us, so that we can meet you. We can answer your questions. Just like Elena said at the beginning, we want to pray for you and hear the stories, the client stories, the testimonials, the impact that you're making. And we want to be able to answer your questions and point you to all the great resources that Heartbeat has to offer. So we're excited to be there and to meet you. And we will see you in 40 days, or, well, when you're listening to it, it could be 2 days. It could be 1 day. You could be listening when you're on the airplane. So whenever it is, we are excited to meet you. And Lori, Michelle, Elena, did you have any other closing thoughts or reminders for people as they're getting ready for conference?
Can't wait to meet you. Come and see us.
We're praying for you. I know that there will be distractions, and we're just praying that this is a time of growth and learning, but also retreat and refreshing and just spiritual renewal for you. So just know that we're praying for you.
Yes, great point, Lori. We're praying for you and for your centers. for your organizations while you're at conference, and praying for your families, because we know how hard it is to leave your family and to leave the responsibilities that you have back home. And, if you've got little ones, especially, that's even harder, and making all the to-do lists for everyone that's going to be caring for your children. So we are praying for you, and we are praying that that God would just speak intimately and personally to each one of you who are coming. We know He has a special word for you, whether it's just encouragement to keep going and to not give up. But whatever it is, we know that He's got something special for you and for all of you. Christine, I think I will hand it back over to you.
Thanks, Kathy. Thanks for everyone for being on with us. It's great to hear your perspectives and your excitement as we get closer towards our annual conference. We're excited to meet all of you. As they mentioned, I think Kathy put it so well when she said it's like a family reunion. There are so many hugs, so many hellos, and so many introductions. If it's your very first year, go sit at a table of people you don't know. Go invite someone to dinner of a center that you've never heard of in a city that you've never heard of. It's so fun. I know I've been at restaurants on like Thursday evening is our free evening, where that's a great time to go check out some of the local restaurants and shops. And I've definitely run into our conference attendees there, and they're just kind of hanging out with each other and relaxing, decompressing a little bit from their work and from their learning from the week. And so that's always fun to see. So we're looking forward to experiencing that with you all. Again, as Kathy said, reach out to us or contact us, not just at the conference. You can contact us well beforehand if you're listening to this and you still have questions, or you just need some guidance in a certain area of preparing for conference. You can contact support@heartbeatinternational.org. And I'll also have some information in the show notes that you can check out for more information on the detailed schedule and the workshops listing. If you want to start marking off which workshops you want to attend now, you can do that. We have all that information listed online. So with that, we wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you at conference, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Pregnancy Help Podcast.